8:42 this morning on Good Day Columbia. We're taking to the roadways this morning with our Tyler Ryan with Tyler's Travels. And since the beginning of the epidemic, over 1 million Americans have been diagnosed with AIDS. Over 600,000 have died from the disease. Although AIDS is transmitted through blood transfusion and drug use, studies show the majority of infections come from the lack of safe sex practices. Tyler Ryan with Good Day Columbia, as well as Tyler's Travels, now on the story of someone living with HIV and raising awareness. Tyler.
Friendy, let me give a couple more numbers, and those numbers are absolutely staggering and way too high, but I want to read these because I want to make sure they're right. South Carolina ranks 9th in the nation in the rate of new AIDS cases and HIV cases every single year. Here's another scary one, guys. South Carolina ranks number 1 among the 50 states and D.C., District of Columbia, in the cases of AIDS and HIV cases from heterosexual sex. We're not talking drug use. We're not talking about anything else. We're talking about a man and a woman do what they do. And let me share a story with you real quick. You got an athlete, goes to college, University of Maryland, involved in a heterosexual relationship, no drug use. In 1999, Veronica Briso, you found out you had HIV.
Yes, it was a big shock for me.
No, I mean, it must have been the first question is, wait a minute, I don't do drugs, I don't behave necessarily in what's considered risky behavior, right?
Yes, absolutely. I felt I was in a committed relationship. We previously used condoms and had been in a relationship long enough that we felt we could stop using condoms.
Right.
And at that point, I don't know that he knew, and I definitely didn't know, that he was HIV positive. So sometimes we walk around with HIV and don't even realize it, which is important. Why? So we need to be tested. It's so important.
Now, what I find fascinating in meeting you is, I'd never know. I mean, what does somebody with HIV look like? You don't know.
Good point.
But you don't, you think of it being a disease that runs you down and eventually, may lead to your death, but you look very happy, healthy, and wise.
Yes, thank you. And I do feel happy, healthy, and wise. I feel blessed to actually still be here. Even be here today for the South Carolina HIV/AIDS Council, who's partnering with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation again. And just excited about getting this information out. That's what's important, so that people can keep themselves healthy, to get tested, to know that it doesn't have a face, it doesn't have a name. HIV, AIDS to anyone. So they need to realize, even with our children, we're not having the conversations, but we have to say to ourselves, when was the first time we had sex?
Right.
Oh, worry, and where were we?
Now, what's it like? I mean, you are out there. I mean, a lot of folks, and I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know that I would be able to be on TV and say, hey, look at me. A lot of people want to keep something like that to themselves, but you are a face of someone living with HIV. How do you feel about that?
I feel good about that. I feel blessed that I am able to do that. It was scary, and it's still scary sometimes.
Sure.
But it was something that I felt I had to do. Sometimes we have to put a name and a face to things in order for people to realize that it's really happening.
It does make it real. A number, the stats we have is one thing, but actually sitting here talking to you, looking in your eyes, going, this is the reality.
Yes.
Reality. Of course, the South Carolina AIDS Council is putting on the Condom Nation and the Condom Nation Tour, delivering condoms, saying, guys, if you're going to do it, then you do it safe.
Yes.
Tomorrow, the Condom Nation Tour is going to be in 2 locations. We'll get them for you at midlandsconnect.com, but handing out, the tools you need for safe sex and free HIV testing as well. Correct?
Absolutely.
All right, Ms. Veronica Briso, thank you for sharing your story with us this morning and for what you do and being brave enough to come up and actually say, look, it's me. It can happen. Don't let it happen.
Yes, thank you very much.
And Tyler, definitely tell her such a brave woman for coming on national television and, giving her story. So well wishes to her as well.
Thank you, Friendy. We'll check back in a few minutes.
Okay.